नमस्कार। पीएमसी गुजरात के डेली बुक रीडिंग में आपका स्वागत है। 50 स्पिरिचुअल क्लासिक बुक को हम उसके मुख्य चैप्टर्स को हम यहाँ पर पढ़ रहे हैं। हमारे साथ अलग अलग मास्टर प्रिपेयर करके आपके सामने कुछ प्रस्तुत करते हैं। हम लास्ट सेक्शन में आ गए हैं। 35 चैप्टर लगभग हमने इस बुक में किए हैं और अभी आज क्रिसमस है। आप सभी को हैप्पी क्रिसमस, मैरी क्रिसमस। जीसस क्राइस्ट के बर्थडे को हम मनाते हैं। भारत विविधताओं का देश है, यहाँ पर हम सभी को स्वीकार करते हैं। और मदर टेरेसा का आज बुक रीडिंग आया है, तो यह भी एक इंटरेस्टिंग बात है। नथिंग इज कोइंसिडेंस। और मदर टेरेसा जैसे सिंपल है, वैसे ही अनीता जी सिंपल है। और अनीता जी ने जिम्मेदारी ली कि मदर टेरेसा के बारे में सबको मैं एजुकेट करूं। मदर टेरेसा के बारे में ज्यादातर लोग नहीं जानते, सिर्फ नाम जानते हैं। उनके व्यक्तित्व के बारे में, उनके लाइफ से क्या मैसेज, क्या टीचिंग हम ले सकते हैं, उसके बारे में अनीता जी अब बताएंगे। वेलकम अनीता जी।
Thank you so much. Thank you again, the forum, to giving me a chance to speak again for the second time. First of all, on the eve of Christmas, a very warm greetings and welcome, loving greetings to all of you present here today. And today we are going to discuss about Mother Teresa, the 42nd chapter of 50 Spiritual Classic. I would like to share my PPT. So,
मदर टेरेसा को नोबेल प्राइज मिला था, आपको पता है? नोबेल पीस प्राइज। नोबेल प्राइज के समय लेक्चर होता है, टॉक होता है। तो जिस दिन प्राइज मिलता है उसके अगले दिन, तो वो जो टॉक होता है वो नोबेल प्राइज का जो वेबसाइट है उस पर अवेलेबल होता है। तो वो भी पढ़ना एक अच्छे उनके माइंडसेट और आइडियोलॉजी को जानने में सहायक है। जब तक अनीता जी अपना पीपीटी शेयर कर रही हैं, तब तक मैं उससे कुछ लाइन सुना देता हूं। मदर टेरेसा सेंट फ्रांसिस ऑफ असीसी, वो चैप्टर भी हमने किया है, जसवीर जी ने किया था। सेंट फ्रांसिस ऑफ असीसी की सबसे खास बात,
I am not able to share. वो दिख नहीं रहा है क्यों? मैं तो नीचे रखा है।
जूम में आपको शेयर स्क्रीन दिख रहा है?
तो मैंने, हाँ दिख रहा है।
शेयर स्क्रीन पे आप टच करें।
नहीं आ रहा है।
आ गया। अब नीचे आपका जो पावर पॉइंट खोला हुआ है वो पावर पॉइंट से टच करें।
I thought I will be able to. Okay. Now, are you all able to see? आपको दिख रही है पीपीटी?
आपको शेयर स्क्रीन दिख रहा है? पीपीटी दिख रही है। क्रोम पे आपने यूट्यूब चला रखा है, उसको बंद कीजिए। शेयर स्क्रीन पे आप टच करें। अच्छा, मैंने चला रखा था, सॉरी। हाँ, पीपीटी आपका दिख रहा है, आप शुरू कर सकते हैं।
So today we are going to discuss about Mother Teresa, the 42 chapters of the 50 Spiritual Classic book. So, One of the few well-known facts of Mother Teresa's life was the timing of her death, which came in the same week of Princess Diana's in 1997. They were two of the main significant women of her time, loved in different ways, but many thought it characterizes Mother Teresa's humility that her passing would be overshadowed by someone even more famous than her. But what do we really know about her and what is her legacy? So basically in 1997, उनकी जो time है मदर टेरेसा का 1910 she was born and she survived till 1997. It was the same time Princess Diana also expired. So people were thinking that because of Princess Diana's popularity, nobody would come to know about Mother Teresa, but it never happened so. Even she was more popular all over the globe. She was a nun and she was based at Calcutta. We'll talk about her details about her life history. Despite many biographies, she did not write a complete book of her own. A simple path comes close, compiled by the religious writer Lucinda Verde. It is written from Mother Teresa's point of view and based on conversation with her and with other sisters and brothers of her missionaries of charity order, plus volunteers who have worked in homes around the world. So these are some pictures. Let me talk a little bit about Mother Teresa. Who is she? Mother Teresa was a Roman Catholic nun who devoted her life in serving to the poor and destitute around the world. She spent many of her years in Calcutta, India, where she found the missionaries of charity, a religious congregation devoted to helping those in great need. In 1979, Mother Teresa was awarded Nobel Prize and became a symbol of charitable selfless work. In 2016, Mother Teresa was canonized by Roman Catholic Church as Saint Teresa. Now, I would like to say a quote. The quote also will come later. It is not how much we do, but how much love we put in doing. It is not how much we give, but how much love we put in giving. So these are some of the pictures that I've added here to show how much compassionate and loving she was. Today is a great day to talk about her. Today is Jesus' birthday. So, here we can see Mother Teresa was the founder of Order of the Missionaries of Charity, a Roman Catholic congregation of women dedicated to helping the poor. Considered one of the 20th century greatest humanitarians, she was canonized as Saint Teresa of Calcutta in 2016. Here we are getting a word canonized. So what do you mean by canonized? Canonized in the sense she was declared a saint by the Roman Catholic Church only after her death. When she was survived and she was alive, none of the church declared her as a saint, but later only in 2016 she was declared as a saint. Officially, she was recognized as a saint. This is what the word canonized means. Many people may not follow the word. Nun and missionary Mother Teresa, known in the Catholic Church as Saint Teresa of Calcutta, devoted her life to caring for the sick and poor. Born in Macedonia to parents of Albanian descent and having taught in India for 17 years. So she was working as a teacher in St. Mary's School, teaching people. She died in the year 1997 and was beatified in October 2003. We'll understand the word beatified again later. Now, a little bit about her life. I am talking. Mother Teresa's family. Will let us understand about her family and her young life. In the aftermath of her father's death, when she was very young, something around 18 years or so, her father expired. Agnes became extraordinarily close to her mother, a pious and compassionate woman who instilled in her daughter a deep commitment to charity. So it was in their blood only to work for the poor, to work for charity and all. So it was from the mother she was inspired. Even when she was a young child, small child, she was very much inspired by the mother to work for the poor and work for charity. Although by no means wealthy, Rana Bojaxiu extended an open invitation to the city's destitute to dine with her family. Yeah, I forgot to tell something. Mother Teresa's original name was uh, Agnes Gunchen Bojaxiu. She was an Albanian origin. The mother is saying, my child never eat a single mouthful unless you are sharing it with others. She counseled her daughter. When Agnes asked who the people eating with them were, her mother unfortunately responded, some of them are our relations, but all of them are poor, are our people. So the point here is never not a single day. कभी भी उन्होंने खाना खाना का एक मोर्शल नहीं लेते थे मुंह में जब तक वो दूसरे को नहीं खिलाते थे. So they used to, the mother used to feed others before the outsiders. And when the daughter asked who are the people, she used to reply, they are our own relatives and our own people. So this was the attitude, their attitude towards others. And sometime in May 24th, 1937, she took a final profession of vows to a life of poverty, chastity, and obedience. As was the custom for Loreto nuns, she took on the title of Mother upon making her final vows and thus became known as Mother Teresa. So basically, she worked with the Loreto nuns and she was being trained to help people. The nuns are being trained. Once you join as a nun, you are being trained what to work and how to work. So she also undergone training. That time she was hardly 18 years old. And she underwent the training of nuns before she started serving people. Now, on September 10th, 1946, Mother Teresa experienced a second calling. There is something called second calling, the call within a call that would forever transform her life. She was riding in a train from Calcutta to the Himalayan foothills for a retreat when she said Christ spoke to her and told her to abandon teaching, to work in the slums of Calcutta, leading the city's poorest and sickest people. So this is how her journey started from teaching to serving people. This was in the year 1946. Sorry. On September 10th, so this is how September 10th, 1946, Mother Teresa experienced the second calling. And basically, she was traveling from Calcutta to the Himalayan foothills for a retreat, to have a retreat. And she heard a voice from within, and somebody, it was the Lord told him from within to leave teaching and to work for the slum dwellers and from the needy people and the sick people. Now, this is some of the awards and all that she has received, recognition that she has received during her course of working for the people. In 1962, she got an award of Padma Shri Award for distinguished service for the poor. In 1971, she received an award of Pope John the 13th Peace Prize. 1971, she received a prize of Good Samaritan in Boston. Then 1971, she received a prize for Kennedy, the Kennedy Prize. 1972, Jawaharlal Nehru Award for International Understanding. In 1972, she received NADA Award, which is Karuna Dutt, Angel of Charity from the President of India. In 1973, she got the Templeton Prize. In 1975, she was awarded as Albert Schweitzer International Prize. Then again, 1977, she got the award of honorary PhD in theology. She from the University of Cambridge in England. Then 1979, finally she got the Nobel Peace Prize Award in India. 1982, she was again received the award of honorary PhD from Catholic University in Brussels, that is in Belgium. 1985, she got the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So these are the recognitions and awards that she has received during her lifetime. Now, this is some of the pictures that I have compiled here about the awards and all. She's receiving all the awards from dignitaries of India. Here I have a quotation of Mother Teresa. The poverty in the West is a different kind of poverty. It is not only a poverty of loneliness, but also of spirituality. So the Western people are not, they do not feel only lonely, but they are deficient with spirituality. It is because of that most of the Westerners they come to India. India is a land of spirituality and religion. So most of the Westerners they find India as the best place in the globe, and they come down to India. There is a saying here by Mother Teresa.
एक मिनट अनीता जी, ये बात तो बहुत अच्छी है, लेकिन इंडिया में एक इंडिया हमारे ख्यालों में है और एक इंडिया जो रियलिटी में है, हम उसकी भी बात करें। अगर हम राह चलते किसी भी इंसान को रोक के पूछें स्पिरिचुअल हो, कितने लोग हमें स्पिरिचुअल मिलेंगे? क्या लगता है लोगों को, आपको चैट में, जिनको आप, इंडिया कितना स्पिरिचुअल है अभी? ऑन पेपर स्पिरिचुअल है, बिल्कुल, नो डाउट अबाउट इट। हमारे पास गीता है, पतंजलि योग सूत्र है, उपनिषद है, पुराण है, लाइब्रेरी भरी हुई है, लेकिन जीने में अभी भी ये बात उन्होंने वेस्ट को यूज कर दिया। लेकिन क्या वास्तव में क्या ये हमारे यहाँ भी काफी हद तक सही नहीं है? ऑन प्रैक्टिकल लेवल, ऑन ग्राउंड लेवल, ऑन एक्सपीरियंशियल लेवल, भारत में आपको कितने परसेंट लोग स्पिरिचुअल मिलेंगे? परसेंटेज वाइज आप लिख सकते हैं, और परसेंटेज का वेरिएशन भी बहुत है, 1% से लेकर 40% तक है। चलिए 25%, 35%। सभी लोगों ने 10th पास किया होगा। स्कूल में पासिंग मार्क्स कितने का परसेंट का होता है बताइए? यहाँ पे टीचर भी हैं, टीचर भी जुड़ते हैं ना काफी सारे। तो आज टीचर कोई है? आपके स्कूल में पासिंग मार्क्स कितना रहे? मैंने एमबीबीएस जब किया ना, एमबीबीएस में एंट्रेंस में ऑल इंडिया सीबीएसई पीएमटी होता है, जिसको आप नीट बोलते हैं। अगर आपके 10th में 12th में 50% है तो ही आप एग्जाम में अपीयर हो सकते हैं। अगर आपके पास 50% नहीं है, यू आर नॉट एलिजिबल टू अपीयर। होना नहीं होना वो बात की बात है। तो मैं तो ये सोच रहा था 50% होता है पासिंग मार्क्स, लेकिन चलिए 33% और 35% भी होता है। ओके, ठीक है। तो भी अभी पॉवर्टी भारत में भी बहुत है। हम अपने आप को अभी बहुत काम करना ही बाकी है। हमें अपने आप पर और अपने आसपास पर, अपने से छोटों पर, हम सभी, हमसे जो उम्र में छोटे होते हैं वो तो हमें हमारी ओर देखते ही, हमें सुनते ही हैं। और बाकी भी अगर जिस तरह के आप रिस्पॉन्सिबल पोस्ट पर होते हैं या किसी भी जिम्मेदारी किसी भी प्रोफेशन में होते हैं, तो भी लोग आपको देखते हैं। तो बहुत गरीबी हटा सकते हैं अगर आप वास्तव में अमीर हो जाते हैं। तो पीएमसी गुजरात पे तो आपको अमीर बनाने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है। पूनम जी ने अभी लिखा बहुत अच्छा कि 3 घंटे, मुझे पर्सनल लिखा है, 3 घंटे बैठना चाहिए ध्यान में। हम बैठ सकते हैं, बैठ रहे हैं, जी रहे हैं, और ध्यान में बैठने के साथ साथ हमारा माइंडसेट हो, हम अपने आप को शरीर ना समझें। स्पिरिचुअलिटी जो है वर्ड स्पिरिट से शुरू होता है। अगर आप अपने आप को स्पिरिट समझते हैं तो आप स्पिरिचुअल हैं। अगर आप अपने आप को बॉडी समझते हैं देन यू आर नॉट ए स्पिरिचुअल, फिर तो आप बॉडी माइंडेड है, फिजिकल माइंडेड है। तो ये बहुत अच्छा लाइन है मदर टेरेसा का हमें। पॉवर्टी सिर्फ धन का नहीं है, फिजिकल रिसोर्सेज का, सिर्फ अकेलेपन की पॉवर्टी नहीं है, पॉवर्टी स्पिरिचुअलिटी की भी है। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं, मदर टेरेसा और क्या कहती हैं।
मदर टेरेसा ने और भी बोले हैं, द फ्रूट ऑफ साइलेंस इज प्रेयर, द फ्रूट ऑफ प्रेयर इज फेथ, द फ्रूट ऑफ फेथ इज लव, द फ्रूट ऑफ लव इज सर्विस, द फ्रूट ऑफ सर्विस इज पीस।
वाह, क्या बात, वेरी नाइस। साइलेंस से प्रेयर, प्रेयर से फेथ, फेथ से लव, लव से सर्विस और सर्विस से शांति। वेरी नाइस।
यहाँ पे मेरे कुछ पिक्चर्स है। मदर टेरेसा ने जो डेस्टिट्यूट और पुअर लोगों को सेवा किए थे, एंड शी वाज रीचिंग नोक एंड कॉर्नर, गली गली में जाके लोगों को सेवा करती थी। सेवा ही उनका मुख्य था, तो लोगों को सेवा करते थे पूरा, गली गली में जाके गरीबों के साथ समय बिताया एंड ऑल। उनके लिए a simple path. In a simple path, Mother Teresa recounts a visit to a soup kitchen for the homeless in London. She reached out to a man who was living in a cardboard box for quite some time. The moment she touched him, and he said, "It's been a long time since I felt the warmth of a human hand." तो कार्डबोर्ड बॉक्स के अंदर वो आदमी रह रहा था कितने समय से, कोई ह्यूमन बीइंग का टच उसको नहीं मिला था। जैसे ही मदर टेरेसा ने उसको टच कर दिए तो उसको बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा लगा था। तो शी वाज दैट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन, जैसे कि लैंप होता है, कैंडल होता है, लोगों को लाइट दिखाए। शी वाज वर्किंग लाइक ए कैंडल, लोगों को लाइट दिखाए जाके। अंधेरे गली गली में जाके उन्होंने सेवा करती थी लोगों को। जितने भी लोग दुखी होकर रहते थे उनको प्यार देते थे। सो ऐसे ही था। एक व्यक्ति जो कार्डबोर्ड बॉक्स के अंदर इतने समय रहा था, उसको थोड़ा सा टच कर दी तो उसको लगा कि वो इतने दिनों से आई हैड नॉट फेल्ट द वार्मथ ऑफ अ ह्यूमन हैंड। सो दिस इज अ स्मॉल example. Mother Teresa would often note that many people who came to the Order's mission were not necessarily hungry. They wanted to be recognized, to have a sense of peace, to relax. The job of the missionaries of charity, she says, is not to figure out the hows and whys of homelessness, but to allow a person to experience some dignity, particularly if they are dying. In her words, there are many in the world dying for the piece of bread, for a piece of bread, but there are many more dying for a little bit of love. So, प्यार की भूखा जो बोलते हैं ना, like people with a little bit of, if you speak to them a little bit, they will feel so happy. It's not like people would die without food, but people would also die without love. So this is very, very important. Love plays a vital role in each and everybody's life. So this was what was Mother Teresa used to teach people. यहाँ पे दिया गया है मदर टेरेसा का मोटिवेशन जो था, um, um, the job of the missionaries of charity, she says, is not to figure out the hows and whys of homelessness, but to allow a person to experience some dignity, particularly if they're dying. In her words, there are many in the world dying for a piece of bread, but there are many more dying for a little bit of love. So this is what we have to learn from her way of living and life. This is a picture how she used to spend a lot of time with the poor and underprivileged children and all. The section of a simple path dealing with the experiences of volunteers is most powerful. Clearly, you cannot be a volunteer for any length of time without it changing your life in some way. And many come to see that in normal secular life, they are unhappy without really realizing it. Penny was a beauty therapist, and she found herself virtually by accident at Nirmal Hridaya home in Calcutta. and ended up staying. She stayed there for 6 months, and she worked washing clothes for washing the destitute people. And although what she saw and did was traumatic, and it was a very pathetic job, cleaning those people and all. The experience became the catalyst for a desired career change into. She became a psychotherapist later, dealing with such kind of people. Part of the idea of the homes, Mother Teresa says, is simply to let people come in contact with the poor, so that it's not just these millions of people, but somebody um, you have actually touched. So we have to, through service, we can touch millions of lives of people. Touch the heart of millions of lives of people. This was what was, service was the motto of Mother Teresa, basically. Serving and reaching out to the needy and the poor and the helpless and the destitutes, those who really, and the lepers and all, everybody she used to reach out to millions of people, those who are really crying for some help. So this is a quote again from Mother Teresa. It's not about how much you do, but how much love you put into what you do that counts. आप कैसे एटीट्यूड से काम करते हो that matters, but क्या करते हो it doesn't matter. Like with what attitude, how much of love and affection and all your you pour in all your heart and everything into what you're doing. That counts really. So this was a wonderful quote from Mother Teresa. The attitude towards what we are working. So it was in 1976, Mother Teresa opened a contemplative branch of her order in Newark, known as Sisters of the World. The vocation of these women is simply to pray most of the day in silence. If you become silent, Mother Teresa points out, God can speak to you. Prayer fits soul as blood is to the body. The blood fits our body, so prayer fits our soul. So prayer is a must. So when you become silent, God speaks with you. So it is a must for us to sit in silence for some time every day, very regularly. The book has several stories about the right people turning up at the right time to help the order. As a result of prayer, with their pressing demands to serve the destitute and sick people, for many of the nuns and mother prayers provide the chance to recharge with spiritual motivation. Mother Teresa herself remarks, without prayer, I could not work even half an hour a day. I get my strength from God through prayer. So when we pray and sit in silence, automatically we get charged and charged from within. We remain connected to the higher consciousness. So automatically we get charged, and throughout the day, our day passes very smoothly, which is very, very important that we have been learning in the morning session also. So this was what was Mother Teresa's mission, motivations. A simple path. What does a simple path means for Mother Teresa? A simple path does make you think about the value of pursuing wealth and secular things. So I have come to realize that the fewer possessions you have, the happier you are. When you see the simple way of the sisters live, it can totally change your life. So this is how a nun or a sister lives the life. How much ever less belongings we have, the more happier or merrier we are. These people, they live like monks. They don't have anything, only two clothes to wear. They don't keep anything, any belongings. They eat 2 square meals a day and they have some few clothes to um, wear for their living, and they eat the food and they saw people. जितने भी बोझा कंधे में कम होता है उतना हमारी जिंदगी सरल होती जाएगा. This is what I have learned by reading this book. Life in rich countries can make people feel isolated and vulnerable, but this sort of selfless work provides focus and a level of emotional integration that normal secular life may not. One of the principles guiding the order is the fruit of service is peace. So the more and more you serve people, the more and more you become peaceful from within. These are again some pictures that I have gathered. How Mother Teresa was very much attached to small children. Now I have compiled some quotes of Mother Teresa. It is not how much we do, but how much love we put in the doing. It is not how much we give, but how much love we put in the giving. And again, the second, prayer is not asking, prayer is putting oneself in the hands of God at His disposition and listening to His voice in the depth of our hearts. We think sometimes that poverty is only being hungry, naked, and homeless. The poverty of being unwanted, unloved, and uncared for is the greatest poverty. Then again, she says, we can cure physical diseases with medicines, but the only cure for loneliness, despair, and hopelessness is love. I feel these are important quotes so that we can treasure these in our lives and we can implement and utilize these all in our day-to-day life. If we really want to love, we must learn how to forgive. This is again said by Mother Teresa. So these are few of the things. Now,
मदर टेरेसा से काफी बातें हमारे पास सीखने के लिए है।
उन्होंने ये भी बोला है, whatever you do to the least of my brethren, you do it to me. Love cannot remain by itself. It has no meaning. Love has to be put into action, and that action is service. उन्होंने जब भी कलकत्ता पे थे, she passed through two traumatic situations. जब ये बंगाल फेमिन हुआ था 1943 पे, एंड जब वो हिंदू मुस्लिम का वायलेंस हुआ था 1946 पे, before the partition of India, she felt the convent to live full time among the poorest of Calcutta. तभी उन्होंने पुअर पीपल के साथ पूरा समय बिताए, टीचिंग को पूरा छोड़ के सर्विस में आ गए थे. And that time only she chose to wear a white sari with a blue border, जैसे कि इंडियन साड़ी. पहले वो ऐसे इंडियन कपड़ा नहीं पहनते थे. And out of respect for the traditional Indian dress, she started wearing this white sari with a blue border. And Mother Teresa and a small band of fellow nuns survived on the minimal income and food. That time she was in Calcutta, having to beg for funds. तभी उन लोगों ने धीरे धीरे पुअर लोगों के लिए फंड्स इकट्ठा करने की कोशिश किया था. फिर 1952 में ऐसे हुआ था कि she opened her first home for the dying, which allowed people to die with dignity. Home for dying. This was something different. Mother Teresa often spent time with those who were dying. Some have criticized the lack of proper medical attention and their refusal to give painkillers. Others say that it afforded many neglected people the opportunity to die knowing that someone cared. So before the person is actually dying, there is nobody to take care of the person. So Mother Teresa was the person who took care of the person at the last time during the deathbed. And this is because of her this kind of work. Slowly, her work spread all over the globe. So by 2013, what happened? There were some 700 missions operating in over 130 countries. And उनकी जो work scope of work था, वो पूरा all over the globe it expanded. So there is she's saying, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. This is again a quote by Mother Teresa. I would like to repeat this. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. Her whole life was influenced by her faith and religion, even though at times she confessed she did not feel the presence of God. तो कभी-कभी उनको ऐसे भी लगता था कि she's not able to feel the presence of God. In spite of doing all these noble acts, still she was feeling a lag behind them. The missionary of charity now has branches throughout the world, including उनकी जो charity का जो missionary work है, and they work for the homeless and people affected by AIDS and all. Now, and then when she was asked how to promote world peace, she replied, "Go home and love your family." First of all, everything charity begins at home. When we start loving our family members, then only we'll be able to love the people from outside. This is something. So Mother Teresa in all aspects of her life was generous, dispenser of divine mercy, making herself available for everyone, though her welcome and defense of human life, those unborn and those abandoned, discarded. She bowed down before those who were spent left to die on the side of the road, seeing in them their God-given dignity. She made her voice heard before the powers of this world so that they might recognize their guilt for the crime of poverty they created. So Mother Teresa was basically a living saint who offered a great example and inspiration to the world. Now, this was all about Mother Teresa. Now I have this is all I would like to talk about Mother Teresa in today's session. Now I have some lovely message from Pope Francis. Today is the day of Christmas. So what Pope Francis is talking about Christmas? So I would like to read this for everybody because we all are in the sitting in the day of Christmas. Christmas is usually a noisy party. We could use a bit of silence to hear the voice of love. Christmas is you, when you decide to be born again each day and let God into your soul. The Christmas pine is you, when you resist vigorous winds and difficulties of life. The Christmas decorations are you, when your virtues are colors and adorn your life. The Christmas bell is you, when you call, gather, and seek to unite. You are also a Christmas light, when you illuminate with your life the path of others with kindness, patience, joy, and generosity. The Christmas angels are you when you sing to the world a message of peace, justice, and love. The Christmas star is you when you lead someone to meet the Lord. So, this is all the significance of Christmas said by Pope Francis. You are also wise. You are also the wise man when you give the best you have, no matter to whom. Christmas music is you when you conquer the chaos and bring harmony within you. The Christmas gift is you when you are truly a friend and brother of every human being, no matter who. The Christmas card is you when kindness is written through your hands. The Christmas greetings is you when you forgive and re-establish peace with everyone, especially with one who you think least deserve it, even when you suffer. The Christmas dinner is you when you give bread and hope to the poor man who is by your side. You are, yes, Christmas night. When humble and conscious, you receive in the silence of the night the savor of the world without noise or great celebrations. You are a smile of trust and tenderness in the inner peace of a perennial Christmas that establishes the kingdom within you. A very Christmas for all those who look like Christmas. So this is all said by Pope Francis. So this is all that I wanted to speak today. And this is, thank you so much for listening to me patiently. This is the last slide. Here there is a picture. It is a real picture. Today morning I had gone to Sacred Heart Church and I touched the feet of Lord Jesus. So uska photo bhi dil lага. This is a real
तो
picture.
जीसस के ट्रेडिशन में तो पैर छूने का ट्रेडिशन नहीं होता.
So we all are eternal servant of the Lord. I feel that, and this is how I conclude my talk.
चलिए, जीसस क्राइस्ट इंडिया आए थे, ऐसा तो उनके नोबल लेक्चर में सेंट फ्रांसिस ऑफ असीसी का उन्होंने जिक्र किया है. और सेंट फ्रांसिस ऑफ असीसी की प्रेयर हमने किया था जसवीर जी के साथ. ओ लॉर्ड मेक मी चैनल ऑफ दाई पीस. तो ये प्रेयर अगर किन्हीं को याद हो और करने यहाँ पे करना चाहें तो हम अभी कर सकते हैं.